Yeah, I found out a good friend of mine from high school's little brother that we used to pick on because I was little brother and I got shit on like shit rolls downhill, you know.
Yeah.
And so I never like in my family I was always the youngest. I was the youngest of the cousins, like all that shit, you know. So there was no one younger than me to pick on. But we go over to my buddy's house and he had a little brother who he liked to pick on. So I finally got a taste of fucking shitting on somebody downhill from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After all the years, and I felt bad for the kid. But he does a I don't know what he does it on, if it's YouTube or whatever, but he does a podcast about uh, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. He does like a Dungeons and Dragons online thing with people and has viewers, and I don't know, dude. It's kind of cool. I bet Adam Jimenez would get along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but how's it going, everybody? This is a beat up and worn out, tired Honda coming at you for the greatest show on the internet that I got to somehow fucking come up with right now. I don't know how I'm going to do that shit. I'm drinking coffee over here, fucking talking about stuff and things, and I don't even know what's going on in the world. All I've been doing is working my ass off. Yeah, actually, literally was just watching a video about this. I don't know who this guy is on YouTube. Who I fucking found. Lead Therapy. Have you guys ever heard of him?
No.
No.
He's just this old guy who makes these like super edited videos of him just like, and it almost doesn't look like it's edited because he stands so still while he's talking that it doesn't look like it's edited unless you're like really looking at it. But he'll say one sentence and then edit, and then he'll say a sentence and then edit, and then he'll say it, and like the way it's all edited together, it sounds like someone's talking about something that they know about or whatever, you know. But you know, like the way that it's edited together, it's because there's a lot of ums and uhs and huh, and I don't know. Lead is FUD. Lead is a FUD. Yeah, but I guess there's and I don't know where it was. Where were we talking? Missouri? Some Missouri gun store that got raided because they had an ATF posed husband and wife, I guess is the story, that came in and filled out a 4473 or a couple 4473s to buy a couple of guns. She filled out the forms. She put, you know, like, are you buying this gun for anyone else? No. Right? And then he paid for it. So she filled out the paperwork. They were together. He paid for the guns. Is that a straw purchase? I don't know. That's arguable, I would think. Because all of the time it happens, not all the time, but often enough, where a friend or a spouse or a whoever will gift a gun to somebody else. And there's nothing against the law as far as gifting the gun. And I would think if you're going to the gun store, like, hey, Duke, I'm going to buy you a gun. Let's go to the gun store, and you pick it out, and you fill out the paperwork, and I pay for it.
Right.
It's your gun.
Yeah.
Is that a straw purchase?
I would say no, because I know people personally who have done that. Like husband-wife duo, like husband wants a gun, she's like, all right, I'll pay for it, but it's under your name and everything. Like you're filling out the form, and like he fills out the form and everything. It's for him. She's just the one giving the cash. Like he's still the one having the background check done on him.
Okay. Yeah, but and here's the situation. I've gotten a gun with my wife. We both got guns at the same time with one purchase.
Yeah, that's a good example right there. Like
Yeah, like
I don't think
you
it
fill
is.
out a 4473 for your own prospective gun, and then you swipe one card to pay for the whole transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a straw purchase. We both picked out guns.
No.
Well, I guess the credit card was in both our names. But that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you
and
know
I
what
don't
mean?
know I don't know enough about like the nuances of the law in that case, but like I've seen shit like that done so many times. Like, I would just assume that's not a straw purchase. Like,
I don't know,
that'd
dude.
be,
But
it'd be
that
different
was
if, like,
reason enough for them to roll in with at least 10 dudes in tactical SWAT gear, rifles in hand, pointing it at people, clearing the building, like locking the owners out, serving the fucking warrant. I guess his brother had a shop next door, like a locksmith shop or whatever. So it was like, I don't know if it's the same building or if there's two separate buildings on the same property, but there's two businesses that are owned by the brothers, right? One brother has the gun shop, the other brother has the locksmith shop. So they come in to serve the warrant on the brother who owns the gun shop. They swing around the back or whatever to the brother who owns the locksmith shop, kick him out of his shop, take his CCW pistol that he has on him, licensed and everything, go into the back of his shop and, like, I don't know, like throw all of the guns that he's got in the back of his shop. They take it over back, all of his guns. He has nothing to do with it. He's just a locksmith, right? Has a couple of guns in his shop, whatever, right? His brother owns a gun shop. Makes sense. Takes all of the guns that his brother has from the locksmith shop back over to the gun shop, locks everything inside. So they no longer have access to anything. This guy's got like 360, something like that, guns that he has in stock for sale. And you figure times an average of $500 a piece, which is probably pretty conservative, to be honest, unless a lot of them are cheap guns. That's $180,000 that the FBI, the ATF basically just locked behind the door that they can't even get to. And now they got to pay a shit ton of money for lawyers and all the other. Like, dude, it's a whole fucking shit show.
That's crazy.
Ghost Shadow says hackers hit FBI email systems, sent 100,000 spam. I wonder, does that mean if you got a spam from the FBI, like a spam email, that you were part of their email watch list or something?
Maybe. It's a good question.
Paul B says, I have a feeling there's more to the story. I wonder if there was other charges not mentioned in the interview. We shall find out.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that I watched, and granted it was a short video from that dude, and it had included a interview where the brother locksmith guy went on to a talk radio show to talk about the experience.
Okay.
So it's firsthand, secondhand. I don't know. It's pretty close to the base of the information as far as what he understood. And probably what he could actually talk about, because I'm sure there was things that, you know, if your brother's being investigated by the ATF that you don't want to talk about on the radio. And, you know, I'm not saying that there's anything that he didn't, that there's not more to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm sure, too, like, if they have lawyers and such like that, I'm sure the lawyers are like, you can only talk about X, Y, Z, not ABC, you know?
Well, I mean, it reminds me of James O'Keefe, right? And, like, his quote is, the punishment is the process. He didn't break a single law. He didn't do a thing wrong. He received information from a source, tried to verify that information by fucking offering it back to the lawyers of Biden's daughter or whatever. Like, got in contact with lawyers that represent the family and said, hey, we have this diary in our possession. Is it yours? Do you want to claim it? And they never responded, because by responding, they would validate the fact that it was her diary, and they'd made copies of all the pages and stuff like that so they could publish it at that point, which was kind of like a, you know, that's the way that it's done, though. You can't go fucking in through the front door. You got to come in through the side window. You know what I mean? So as a result of this, I think it's the FBI are the ones with O'Keefe who went into an apartment, confiscated the book, all phones, all papers, all electronics, like every computer or laptop or everything that they had in the apartment, right? huge investigation again, SWAT team kind of dudes with the stuff, and like, you know, like very reminiscent of what happened with oh god, what's that guy's name? Alex Jones' buddy, Trump guy. Whatever. They came in and fucked his shit up. And then they found that some of his private communications that could have only been accessed if they went into that apartment and got his effects were leaked to the New York Times by who? Well, no one else had that information but the FBI. So, again, there's no crime that they're going to be able to actually get him with. Yes, Roger Stone. Thank you, Tupperware. There's nothing they're going to be able to do to him, but they're going to string out the investigation. They're going to make him hire lawyers. They're going to put him through shit. They're going to, you know, find ways to come into your life again and again. And once you're going through this process, the process can go for years. And that is the punishment. So if you're a dissident, if you are a journalist who likes to speak about things or whatever, and you haven't broken a single law, well, they can still investigate you, can't they? Well, there's nothing wrong with an investigation, right? I don't know. Windy Howler says, been watching the Kenosha Kid trial all week.
Yeah, I like that.
The Kenosha Kid?
The Kenosha Kid. I've not heard that. That's a good one.
Dude, he is the Kenosha Kid. You haven't heard that? He's been called the Kenosha Kid since almost day one. When that
oh yeah, there's like T-shirts and stuff made up of like nope. Kenosha Kid, and
no,
yeah,
I've not seen that. That is worth it.
Do you think Rittenhouse will be found guilty, dude? Honestly, at first I was like, "There's probably no way they're not going to find him guilty," just based upon the way that things worked before the trial even started.
I'm still 50-50 at this point myself.
And then the trial got going. And with how bad the fucking state's case against him is and the facts coming out through the case and the different testimonies and evidence being entered and how things kept going against the prosecution as far as like, oh, well, this is what we're trying to prove and you didn't, you know, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
After about the third or fourth day, before Rittenhouse got on the stand, however many days that was like the third or fourth day, or like it was after the first week was pretty much fucking the prosecution making their case. And then once the defense started calling people, I'm like, well, the prosecution already made their case and it was a piss poor shitty job that they did. So of course, once the defense starts calling their witnesses, they're gonna have like a use of force expert. They're going to have a ballistic expert. They're going to have a video expert. They're going to have eyewitnesses testifying to what they saw. They're going to have character witnesses for Kyle to show what a good guy he is. But no, the only thing out of that they had was a fucking video expert who did a shitty fucking piss poor job. Roberts, or whatever his name is, Richards, the main defense lawyer, seems like he doesn't have a clue what's going on. They don't know how to fucking object. They put their fucking defendant on the stand, which any lawyer will tell you is a bad idea in a murder trial unless it's going terribly bad for you already. And it's like a Hail Mary, and that's the only way that you can win. It's a terrible idea to put your fucking murder defense like a person on the stand. So they did that, and it kind of fucked some shit up, and it opened some doors to like lesser charges and other things that might happen based upon what Kyle said, and right? Which is why you don't fucking put him on the stand.
He got to ask him like really hard questions, like, why did you pick an AR-15? You know, like stuff that you really don't even want your client to be asked. Things that made the situation look bad. Why didn't you? Oh, you didn't want a pistol, so you picked an AR-15. Where did you come up with that?
Well,
things that, yeah.
And no one's going to remember. Okay, so here's how it went. They called Kyle on the stand. They questioned him for, I feel like it was less than an hour, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it was a full hour that the defense questioned their own witness being the person accused of the crimes and painted a fairly decent picture about what happened and why he did what he did and everything like that, right?
Yep.
Broke down in tears. Media used that as fucking fodder, whatever. The prosecution gets on the gets like their chance to question him, right? How many hours did that go on for? Was it 3, 4? It was like watching Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, extended version with the end credit scenes. But instead, it was like Kyle on the stand having to having to answer the same question again and again, right? And there's this thing called ask and answer. It's an objection that you can say, wherein if there is a person who's testifying on the stand being asked questions and you ask them a question and then you don't get the answer that you want, so you ask the same question again, objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
Yeah.
Sustained, ask a different question. How many times did they do that?
I didn't see any.
I don't think once.
You are correct. They didn't do it once. They had, I think, 2 or 3 objections the entire time that Kyle was on the stand. They were ineffective, right? And by the time he got off of the stand, no one could remember anything that happened when the prosecution or the defense originally asked their questions and painted the picture that they painted. And then I was thinking, like, okay, they're going to cross-examine, right? They're going to get their chance to re-examine the witness and go over some of the points that the defense made and I don't know, argue against them, come up with an argument against them based upon the questioning and answers, right? So that there would be the doubt in the mind of the jurors. But what did they do? You guys remember? Oh, they didn't recross. Nope. They just let them get down off the stand and called it done, right? They get the video expert up there. And the whole point of the video expert, in my mind, and in the mind of lawyers that I was watching and commenting about what was going on, was the fact that this entire sequence of events took place in less than 3 minutes. From the time that he started being chased by fucking Rosenbaum to the point where he was in front of the police car getting pepper sprayed with his hands up, right?
Yep.
3 minutes. It was 2 minutes, 58 seconds. They had a master copy that this dude had put together of the different various videos with a 9-second gap in the middle that no video had captured anything, but you could account for that with a 9-second blank space or something. I don't know. Wherein you could have played that 3-minute video. It would have taken you literally 3 minutes to do. And they never played the entire video. They played pieces of it. They broke it down in weird ways. Richards or whatever the fuck his name was asking stupid questions that were very fact-based, but not very narrative inducing, which is what you have to do when you're defending someone's life on trial, is build a narrative that anyone can understand, that's easily perceptive to anybody watching, exactly what a reasonable person would have done in those situations. And you can point to the here's the narrative of what happened, and here's the facts that fit the narrative, and that makes sense. That's what you're trying to do. But he just picks out the facts, forgets about the fucking narrative. This guy's a fucking... I almost said a bad word. So yeah, I think after all that, and then here's the final part. Jury fucking selection. Supposedly, and according to another lawyer who I listen to, I've been listening to a lot of lawyers lately, they had advice for free, mind you, outside advice to help them do things like jury selection, and they had like a body language expert that they brought in, and this whole team of people that they brought in. But Richards doesn't want to share the spotlight, or I don't know what happened, something behind the scenes. And he dumped this whole team of lawyers. Free law advice. He doesn't have to take it. You can listen to those guys, say whatever they said, and do whatever the fuck he wants. He's not obligated to listen to what they say, but wouldn't you think that if you're trying to put your best defense on, that you want more heads thinking up solutions and problems and angles and everything that you can think of, and then with that aggregate information, you'd have the better opportunity to make a better choice, right? I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. But in retrospect, to see how this trial has went, he's done a very bad job. And that started with jury selection. And if you take a random sampling of people, this was according to a poll that I was reading about in Kenosha, there's 30% of the population who, one way or another, are going to be immovable because of their views about things, right? Meaning you get one of the bad people on that jury who's not going to be able to be swayed by any amount of evidence ever, is always going to give a guilty verdict for Kyle for every single thing that he can. And then you're going to have someone on the other side who, even if there was damning evidence of Kyle, based upon his ideology, would always give an innocent verdict no matter what. So what we're going to have is a hung jury, in my opinion. That was a really long Wendy Howler response. Sorry.
Did you watch Tim Pool this week?
A little bit. I saw that clip of him fucking getting all angry about stuff because of not Kenosha, but because of Veritas, the Project Veritas thing going on. I don't know why. I don't know why. Duke?
What?
You said, did you watch any Tim Pool this week?
Oh, he talked about the here. Well, can you play a clip from that, or is that going to be a problem? Or if you just do the audio?
No, it's fine. Do it.
Here,
screen share.
Let me pull. Oh, I don't have it on a screen share.
Oh yeah, just send it to me then. That's fine. Private message.
Yeah. Let me get this for you. But anyways, it's just he goes really intense on it, and it's good stuff. But it's super intense, and he's talking about like this is like where we need to draw the line in the sand. Like this is a big deal. If you think that this is just a case, this is going to be this is going to affect us in the long run. Just good stuff like that.
Where did you send it to me already?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Services says, saw a meme today, pic of Greta Thunberg and a pic of Kyle side by side. Text read, our 17-year-old versus your 17-year-old. Thing is, I agree with it completely. I saw that like a week ago and it was funny. I don't know if I agree with it, but I think it's hilarious.
I saw when I went into a gun shop today, one of the guys in the back said, if Kyle gets acquitted, he is going to get a Kyle Rittenhouse tattoo next to his David Koresh tattoo.
Wendy Howler is watching along with me on Rakita Law, which is where I've been watching since he called it day 2 because he called day 1 jury selection and instructions and things like that, which I missed. I didn't watch that. But day 2 I was watching on Rakita Law. And I find it very interesting listening to a bunch of lawyers talk about it, because like if you just watch a trial, you go to court TV and you watch a trial, there's little things happening and people talking and they're making a big deal about something and you don't know why, and maybe it would be more analogous to being on the fucking jury and actually seeing what the jury thought. But it's helpful to have the lawyer there talking about, well, here's why they're making that motion. Here's what the judge is doing, here's what that means when they say this.
Yeah, I sent that to you on Discord.
Or with you.
Yep, this is what I was watching. Okay, here, I'll pull it up. I should drink coffee before more chats, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
And they will burn your life to the ground like they're doing to Rittenhouse and like they're doing now to James O'Keefe because you dare oppose their power grab. This is not a joke, and it is getting worse. And in the next 10 years, as we enter the 4th turning and it escalates, it is going to get worse. James O'Keefe is a journalist. The federal government stole his privileged legal communications and gave it to the New York Times, who published it with a smile on their faces.
True.
These people do not hold your values. They do not believe in the Constitution. The prosecutor in the Rittenhouse case violated the Constitution.
All
they
true.
Will do it again. They will do it more, and they will burn down your town, and the feds will protect them, and the police will protect them. Stop thinking the institutions are on your side. This country is being corrupted, and we're watching it every day. And it has gotten to the point where you need to ask yourself, will the police protect you when someone comes to your town and threatens to kill you? No.
This sounds like an E-Honda rant, doesn't it?
That's why I saved it. That's why I
It
wanted
is
to
very E Honda-esque, yes.
The detectives in Kenosha, the state, the prosecutor, went against the young man who was fleeing for his life. And James O'Keefe, an anti-establishment individual, and I mean that with respect, but he is outright just a journalist, is facing the boot of the authoritarian fascist government. And it will get worse, and it will happen to you because you keep complying. And you keep saying, but my kids need food. And now inflation is here, and there's food shortages, and your kids aren't eating, and the schools are indoctrinating your kids. Now we see a turnaround with Youngkin because the parents are standing up. But too many people keep saying, as long as I keep filleting the state and dropping on my knees for the far left extremists, I will squeak by, and you will not. The police will come to your home. They will kick your door in, and they will arrest you because the good cops have already started quitting. And like we saw in Seattle, the police arrested the man who was retreating from Antifa as Antifa approached him with clubs in hand. And they apologized to Antifa over it. Like we saw in the Chaz, when several men unloaded hundreds of rounds into an SUV, and then the extremists stripped the evidence from the vehicle, and none of those people are brought to justice. And now we are at the point where Project Veritas is having their private, privileged, legal communications leaked to the New York Times with a smile on their face, violate all norms, all respect, and lack all scruples. And you think sitting back and complying will result in you getting by. You are wrong. I'm sick of this.
Preach.
Sounds a lot like a fucking
Right, right.
rant, doesn't it?
As soon as I heard it, I was like, "Oh, I know someone who probably saw this already, but I do want to show it to him."
Yeah. The thing is, there's nothing that he said there that wasn't true. I mean, some of it was speculation as to what's probably coming, right? Here's my prediction. But as far as the facts of the situations in which he was describing and what they mean and what's actually going on in society today, I don't see how he was wrong on any of that, dude.
Right, and that's the terrifying thing. I think that's what makes me the most worried, is that it just keeps getting darker and darker.
Yeah, dude. And the thing is, like, this whole Rittenhouse situation is I mean, you could argue that he couldn't be there, but you can't that he shouldn't have been there, right? But you cannot argue that it was not the perfect example of what the law of self-defense in this country is supposed to cover. Because watching that, dude, we were watching that shit live. You remember? Like fucking, we were watching the video of Rosenbaum saying "shoot me N-word, shoot me N-word" at the gas station, and I said then, that guy is looking for trouble. This shit is about to fucking pop off. This is gonna be fucking crazy. We need to keep watching it. And sure enough, like 20 minutes later,
yeah. Saw it live. Who was with it? It was you, me, and who else?
Ray was there.
Yeah, that was a crazy night. It was very crazy. It was very easy to point out that guy and say, "Yeah, that guy's gonna die," because he was begging them to shoot him.
The judge, I think the judge allowing consideration of lesser charges is bullshit. The prosecution could not have explained a conviction for murder. Well, and the thing is, if the evidence that comes out through the course of the trial leads the judge to believe that it shows potentially this crime instead of that crime, like a lesser crime, then that recommendation will be put forward. Did not happen on all things in this case. And the thing that really got me was the gun charge specifically, because the law in Wisconsin goes something like, if you're 16 or younger, you need to have a hunting license, you need to be hunting. If you're 17 or older, or 16 or older, right? So 16 or 17, basically, you cannot have a pistol, you cannot have a short-barreled shotgun or short-barreled rifle, but you do not need to have a hunting license to possess the weapon, which means basically possession is having the weapon on you, right? It's not against the law. So in that respect, what he's being charged with when it comes to the gun crime, as far as having the gun, was a misread of the law and an overreach of prosecution. The judge acknowledged that the law covered Kyle.
Yeah.
And then said, well, we'll leave it in, and I'll keep that. I'll make sure to instruct the jury about that. So now you're leaving it up to that jury, who, again, could have some fucking crazy ideologist on it who's never going to change their mind and give a guilty plea for everything. So I think that part should have been thrown out.
Yep, I agree. I think a lot of stuff should have been thrown out that wasn't. A lot of stuff has been allowed. Like you said, a lot of it I put on the
Yeah,
defense.
a lot of BS that should not be in there.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst part, I think, also, I don't know if this is the worst part, but again, another really bad part. They got admitted into evidence the grainy, blown up drone footage, still frame photo of Kyle supposedly holding a gun and pointing it at that guy who shot the bullet up in the air. Right? Not caught on any other camera from any other angle. Not able to be seen in native resolution, only being able to be seen if you blow it up on an iPhone and look at it on a still frame.
Yep.
Got into evidence anyway. How that happened? I think that was the defense, dude, not doing their job. Honestly, they really needed to hammer that home harder. The judge gave them an opportunity to. They didn't. They were like, no, I mean, and then the judge made his ruling because they didn't make another argument. I don't know, dude. Shit be motherfucking cray. What's up? Motherfucking never enough.
It's penis time.
Peanut butter, penis time.
Sorry, I'm late. Am I late? How long have you been going?
Like 20, 30 minutes.
Okay, not that bad.
Not that bad. How's it going?
Not too bad. Just finished a late dinner.
Dude, I got my ass handed to me at work, bro.
How so?
Well, let's just say I was there a little bit later than I wanted to be last night by like 2 hours. And then I get to work this morning, and I'm normally in a certain area of the building which isn't very busy, and I'm completely okay with that because it's my last day of the week and I want to get the fuck out of there, you know? This week, I'm in the busiest area.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Right? Just deal with it. Well, there was some sort of an electrical problem with the heating air conditioning system. The rest of the building is nice and good temperature, right? They finally started to fix this shit. The area that I was working at was 85 degrees when I got there today.
That
Doesn't sound like a lot.
Oh, trust me, it is.
But stagnant 85 degree air when you're wearing like black shirt, black pants, like apron, everything covered up, and you're running around as fast as you can doing things like, God damn, dude, that shit it's like working in hell.
You couldn't live down here, dude.
Nope.
There's no way in hell you could live in South Texas.
Yeah, well, if you have an air conditioner, I'm sure it like mitigates the problem quite a bit.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it helps, definitely.
I don't like the cold weather either. I just like it to be like 70 degrees. Where should I live for that?
Like, I don't know. You're pretty close to where you would need to live. Well, I don't know. Maybe southern Colorado or northern Oklahoma or something like that.
Yeah, but then you got to live in Oklahoma or southern Colorado.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, southern Colorado sucks, dude. Like, Pueblo has the second highest crime rate in Colorado as far as, like, cities. Only Denver is worse. And that's only because of what's happened in the past 2 years. Dude, I was reading the fucking murder rate in Denver went up 40% last year.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. What the fuck?
Not as bad as some cities. I think New York City went up 60%. If I remember correctly. Let me look that up.
The murder rate in my pants went up 100% because I killed that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what that meant, but it sounded good in my head when I said it. So, Duke, what happened today? I did not understand the cryptic.
Nothing.
messages.
Nothing. I cited in our guns for hunting.
Oh, okay.
That's all we did today. That's all we did today.
I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. Like,
I'll talk about it later.
I thought Ray Ray had like captured your phone or something for a second.
No, we just always cited in our guns. I'll talk about it later. The big hunt starts on Monday. So.
ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess it was in 2019. Okay, here you go. So from 2018 to 2019, this is what happened to their murder rate. They don't have statistics for 2020 for some reason. Very hard to find. I don't know, man. I expected the FBI statistics to be a lot worse about 2020, to be honest, when it came out. But it's all about reporting, isn't it? So, like, if things aren't getting reported the way that they should, or the way that they would during normal times, then the data isn't comparable.
You would think murder would be different. Like, that would be one that, no matter what, would somehow manage to get reported. Like,
This man was found with a knife in his neck. COVID got him.
yeah.
The elusive COVID strikes again.
That COVID's a murderous bitch, isn't she? I don't know, man.
I know.
I really didn't have any time to plan for a chat tonight, Matt. I was
That's
working.
okay. The more you drink, the more the conversation will flow.
Well, I'm drinking coffee because I was going to fall asleep if I didn't. So I'm not drinking anything yet. I'll switch to Red Bull vodka here in a minute,
You
maybe.
need some Irish coffee.
That's not a bad idea. I got some Irish whiskey, actually.
See?
So what's been going on, fellas?
Not much.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Today I really haven't done a whole lot, so I've been paying attention to what's going on in the world. The rest I still haven't watched I even pulled it up on my computer and I still haven't watched the fucking Rittenhouse stuff from yesterday. I know you were telling me to watch it, or at least the beginning of it. I haven't even gone back and watched that yet, so I don't even know what the fuck happened in that other than what we talked about last night. So,
Well, they're basically making arguments back and forth between the defense and the prosecution as to which charges need to be explained to the jury and how they need to be explained and what parts are prevalent and things like that. And the defense just lost like a major part of the argument by allowing them to include the language provocation when it came to the murder of Rosenbaum, because the jury might take carrying a gun around during a riot provocation when technically that doesn't count, but it's up to the jury still. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Do final arguments on Monday?
That is the plan. Yes. They'll each have, I think, 3 hours to do final arguments.
Yeah.
And then jury instruction. and then deliberation, and then maybe Tuesday we get an answer.
Interesting.
I don't know why everyone's putting thumbs up, but there you go.
Nice. Everybody likes a good thumb up. Something.
Oh, man.
Thumbs up your bums.
So I was thinking about this. CO2. It's like the gas that's in the atmosphere that's so terrible for the environment. It's causing global warming. All this stuff's going on because of all the CO2 is such a high percentage in the atmosphere. Do you know what percentage the atmosphere that you breathe is CO2?
I don't remember. I do know this. I just don't remember.
Anybody? Give a guess. What do you think it might be?
I know it's incredibly small. 5%. 2.5%.
0.2% of the atmosphere surrounding the Earth is carbon dioxide. Now, there is a plan, and I have to find. I'm unclear as to the validity of this. Right, I have to confirm this, but this is what I heard: is that the government is buying up land in the Midwest so that they can create a pipeline and factories. What do these pipelines carry? What do these factories do? They scrub the fucking air for carbon dioxide, pull it out of the air, transform it into liquid form. They like get it so cold that it turns into liquid, and they pipe it somewhere to be pumped into the ground and stored forever.
Well, yeah, because the CO2 scrubbers are a thing that like they use them in Australia. There's like one big one that was one of the first ones, I think, that was like one of the test ones to see if is this something we can build and how will it work, which they made in Australia. And to me, it just sounds like we're just getting ready to fucking create the perfect scenario for what happened in the day after tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
I
to
feel
me,
like this is the beginning of a movie.
No, well, to me, it's like the aliens in that Charlie Sheen movie with the factory that was putting carbon dioxide into the fucking atmosphere.
That's right, because they were trying to increase plant life and shit on the planet.
So what happens to plant life when you take carbon dioxide out of the air?
It dies. It goes away.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Which is why we've had this argument. I've been telling people this. All the people, everybody I know, I've had conversations with about climate change. I'm like, so because there is this weird thing, and I think I remember more as a kid when I didn't know any better, throughout the 80s and into the 90s, where the idea of global warming and climate change and all this shit basically resulted in what Mad Max deserts or some shit like that, where there's no water and no nothing. But then as you get older and you actually learn what CO2 does to the planet, considering there have been times in history that we've seen through core samples, where CO2 was 450 times higher than it is today, and what happened at that particular period of time when CO2 was so high is, yes, the planet did warm, but not to a degree that would be catastrophic, because what happened is it just encouraged more plant life. We had massive booms in different new species and new plants and things like that, which then in turn encouraged
Duke,
more animal life. So, which is something that nobody who talks about climate change ever wants to discuss. It's like, okay, well, I understand, what you're saying, but what happens when when CO2 levels go up? Oh, we get more food. Plant life flourishes, which encourages fauna, right? Animal life to flourish. So, I mean, but yeah, I guess it's a bad thing, huh?
And when I was like a kid, we learned about the different gases that cause greenhouse gases. And as far as I understood from the science of the 90s, which I don't think has changed much as far as certain things go. I mean, other things, they've gained a lot of knowledge since the 90s. But yeah, when it comes to like how gases work, I think they had the science pretty down, at least in a lab. And the number one greenhouse gas as far as its effectiveness of holding in heat wasn't carbon dioxide, it was carbon monoxide. like tailpipe jizz.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought we were going to be running around in hydrogen cars by now.
It'd be cool, right?
It makes the most sense to me because, like, the problem with like batteries, they take a long time to charge, and you can't you can't just stop at a gas station and fill up and go, right? And the problem with gasoline is that it pollutes, and you got to drill for it, and you have like wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and stuff like that because you want to have rights to the oil and all this other shit going on. So that's bad too. But you could harvest sunlight and whatever else you want to do to create energy to make electrolysis on water to separate it into hydrogen and oxygen. And you have an infinite supply of hydrogen that as soon as you burn it, just turns back to water that you can then do the same thing to again. Like it.
What was the guy? And I feel like he lived up in like either Oregon or Washington or somewhere up there that had created that water powered, essentially hydrogen powered car that one of the big major companies, I don't remember who, bought it from him and then just scrapped it. Like paid him a fuck ton of money for this.
I remember something about, so in order to make electrolysis, you basically have to have a positive and a negative charge separated by a little bit of space. And in that space, you have water. And then the water, because of that positive and negative charge, gets ripped apart. And then little bubbles of oxygen and fucking hydrogen pop up, right? And if you collect the hydrogen over here, you can then burn it and then make water again, right? And there was a way that the guy used a regular car with a regular alternator and a specific mix, because you got to add like alkalis and things to the water to get it to like work correctly. You got to have a catalyst in there, so you got to make the catalyst correct in the water. But when you run the electrical charge through it, like a whole bunch of fucking hydrogen's coming off of this thing, right? And he's feeding the motor off of the hydrogen coming out of the water that's being ripped apart by the alternator, and the car's just running. So it's running because of the hydrogen that's making electricity to separate the water to make hydrogen to make the engine run. Like, how does that... Why aren't we not all doing that?
I remember looking something up, and it was something about that the energy it takes to like tear apart the water was as much as is released by it.
Right, but that was the thing that this guy had. He had some weird fucking way of doing it. That
he figured something out.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck it was. I remember reading this story like years ago. And yeah, he had done it, and it was in the 80s or something. I feel like it was a while back. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was more recent than that. But
I thought it was early 2000s. But
maybe it was. Maybe I'm wrong on the date.
Not positive on the timing.
But and I don't remember which company it was, but one of the major car companies bought it from him and then just did nothing with it.
Well, I mean, we used to be a net exporter of fossil fuel, didn't we, as a country? Just like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yep, in 2019.
What happened to that?
Well, let's see. Biden?
Brandon.
A bunch of people who wanted to shut down a bunch of shit. Pipelines and everything.
I've been reading about this. I don't know what it is exactly. They were talking about the cost of making the world net zero. And I think they're talking about net zero carbon dioxide production being in the like trillions of dollars. Like, I forget how much, like $39 trillion is how much it would cost to get us to that point. You guys know about what they're talking about at all? Have you heard anything about this?
No.
Yeah. I'll have to get it into it some other time when I know a little bit more information about it.
I don't know, man, but I'm ready for like a fucking car that can just like run on solar or fucking, water. I don't give a shit at this point. And that's what pisses me off about when you have conversations with people who are all like fucking woke and are all talking about climate change and shit. And then they sit there and they treat you like you just want to see the world burn. No, I just don't want to fucking ruin an entire economy to do something that's not there yet. Like it's gonna be someday, and I'll love to. I would love to have a fucking hydrogen powered car. You know what I mean? I would love to still be alive the day that I can run everything in my home off of like solar and wind and have it work efficiently and drive around in a fucking hydrogen powered car. I'm
Yeah,
there
just
for that.
not there yet.
But we're not there yet. And until we are, I don't feel like just bankrupting or destroying the economy and bankrupting people and entire sectors of the economy and doing what we're doing now, which is fucking subsidizing with taxpayer dollars a bunch of bullshit that right now just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Not anywhere near to the level that it needs to work to use a vaccine term, to have good. It doesn't have the efficacy. The efficacy just isn't there. You know what I mean? And I just hate it. Because if you say anything about, we gotta wait till stuff's working or whatever, they just start calling you a fucking climate change denier and all this bullshit and everything else. I don't know.
It's easier to program people to fight against something that they don't know anything about with platitudes than it does to actually educate people to understand the true crux and nuance of the problem at hand and have an actual intellectual debate, especially when you're trying to herd people into a certain direction.
Yeah. Well, the climate thing change is just one of those things that is being used right now to push for more government control, for more Marxist progressive ideologies. I mean, if you look at that whole Green New Deal thing and read half the shit in there, most of the shit in that Green New Deal had jack shit to do with climate change.
Well, a lot of it's globalism.
Yeah, it was just
it's not even about climate change. It's about establishing some sort of a world authority on who gets to produce how much and who, if you go over that amount of carbon dioxide or whatever, then how do you pay for it and who do you pay that money to? You know, that's what they're setting up. It's what what's his name? Al Gore was all into.
Mm-hmm. If your SUVs are destroying the planet.
In 1967, Polish mercenary Rafał
Ganowicz
was asked what it felt like to take a human life. Quote, "I wouldn't know. I've only ever killed communists." I like that.
Stanley Meyer. That's the dude who invented the water car. Well, got it to work anyway. Stanley Meyer.
How much did they pay him?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Stanley.
And apparently he died under mysterious conditions too.
Huh. That's not suspicious.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, the government doesn't do that kind of stuff, do they?
No, of course not. It says so in March 21st, 1998, he and 3 other people are having, it was in Ohio, are having lunch at a diner. He ate some cranberry. He had some cranberry juice and dessert. After the first sip, suddenly gets up as if he's gone crazy, holds his hands around his neck, loses his breath, runs out on the parking lot and collapses to the ground, pronounces his last words. "They poisoned me." Is that true? That almost sounds made up. No? Lead detective on the case collected the testimonies of everyone in the parking lot, including the final disturbing words of the man immediately identified as Stanley Meyer.
Whoa, check this out. This is what happens when your light bulb explodes in slow motion.
That's cool.
This is the new world order they want you living in. Retweeted by Joe Rogan. The fuck is going on here?
Oh, it
sounds like German.
What is that? It's not like doesn't look like a protest per se, because they're being way too calm. Just like they're slowly walking through the streets.
Sounds like there's like an overhead like intercom being like, "Stay calm. You shall all walk to the square where you shall receive your shower."
We have your best intentions in mind, Joe.
We just need steam-powered cars. That's what we need.
I mean, we used to have steam-powered cars
Yeah.
back in like the turn of the 1900s.
And then we just need those blocks that Doc came up with for Back to the Future 3 that burn really, really hot.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's the problem with steam powers. They're not.
Dude, when I was a
you have
kid,
to put in, you don't get a great return.
when I was a kid, I had this little like toy airplane thing that worked by you'd pump it up full of air, and then it would like release the air slowly, and it would make the fucking propeller spin as it released it, and that shit would fly like 100 yards, dude. It was cool.
It's like those what they say, the old, like in the cartoons and stuff, where the character, whatever character it is in the sailboat and he's blowing the fucking sail to move.
That doesn't work. Oh, poor kid.
I walk in and see that, I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what you doing?
Everything all right over there?
You okay?"
You need a little hand, or you got this? Did you see? There's this wind-powered car that I was looking at that can go like faster than the wind that's pushing it.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So it's got a big fan on the back that's hooked by gearing system to the wheels. So when the wind pushes, the fan starts turning, which turns the wheels, right?
Mhm.
And by some fucking voodoo magic, eventually I don't know, it goes faster than the wind. I don't understand it.
If you had a way to gear it properly, where you geared it down and down and down and down to where you're able to use whatever wind power. Although, if you're going faster than the wind, at some point the wind would stop affecting you, right? Like it would stop.
Right, but then by some method that I don't know what it does, dude. It defied physics, but the guy did a whole video on it, and he was like, "I'll demonstrate it. I'll show you it in miniature. I'll show you it in full scale with this fucking like they built one and they took it to like the fucking salt flats and shit,
Rubber band power. Remember those cars when you were a kid that had the rubber band, so you pull them back and wind the rubber band up, and then let it go. It's rubber band power. That's what it is. It's the only magic we need. Rubber bands.
Let's go back to Flintstone style cars. It says super bad.
Well, where's Duke when you need him? He's an expert at those.
Yabba dabba Duke. Never made sense to me that the tires are made out of giant fucking round boulders or whatever.
Yeah, there's no way you could push that with your
feet.
No fucking way.
And you're like sitting down and you're supposed to do this with your feet and make it go.
Yeah, I don't even think you could push that, much less fucking sit there. Just move from your knees down.
Right. You'd have some really fucking killer calves. That's for sure.
At least, like, I don't know, some pedals or something. Can we come up with a pedal system that's more believable?
Flintstones.
I give it that was also a kid's cartoon, so
yeah.
Well, they give it a little bit of a pass, slightly.
Dude, there ain't much going on at all right now, is there? There's lots of court cases. I think that's because, like the year of shutdown, all of these things happened, but they couldn't go to court for it, and now they're trying to get caught up with all these fucking crazy cases. Like, have you heard about what's going on with the? I forget the name of the people, or even where it was at. I think it was Georgia, where the dude was like jogging, and supposedly jogging, and then he went into the house and started like rummaging through things, and people started following him, and they ended up catching up with him, and he tried to grab the shotgun out of the guy's hand, and he got shot. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that story. It was a black guy that was jogging, right? And like
Yeah.
the white guy's like, yeah.
I don't know why race matters, but yeah.
Because I remember when it happened, like it was a big race thing because
Arbery, that's what it is. Ahmaud Arbery, that's what it was. So, in the case of Ahmaud Arbery, did you guys know that the homeowners who were concerned about this person inside of that house called the police? The police told them to get their guns and told them that this guy was armed. Never part of the public fucking knowledge there. That's come out in court. Attested to by the police officers, right? Like, this isn't something that they're saying. The police themselves have come out and said, yeah, we had information that Ahmaud Arbery was in fact armed, and we told them as such and advised them that they should grab their guns if they're going to confront him or what. I forget how they put it.
Well, yeah, because he was at the home of the person he had sexually assaulted and wouldn't leave. Like that was the whole big deal. Was like he had just committed a fucking felony or whatever, and wasn't he currently, or at that time he was still going to court over that shit?
I think you're thinking of a different case, because that's the one.
Of?
That's the one with the girlfriend in the car, and he was trying to get the thing out of the car, and they shot him a bunch of times.
Which one's Ahmaud Arbery? I don't remember this one. Which one's this one?
That's the black kid who was running, and then there was the white racist in the truck that ran him down in their truck and then held him at shotgun point. You don't remember this?
Yes. Okay, now I remember that one. Yeah,
that one.
Okay, wait. So the cops told them to grab their guns.
The cops told them to arm themselves because he was armed.
Okay, well, that was fucking stupid. They're going to get fucking sued for doing that shit. Because if you've seen the video, clearly, like, I don't know why he's running through the neighborhood, but clearly what they did was murder a dude in the street. Like, they chase him down in the vehicle, get out with a shotgun, point a shotgun at him. He tries to go to the other side of the vehicle. The dude runs around the back of the vehicle, points a shotgun at him a second time. At that point, he's like arm's length away. So Ahmaud Arbery grabs the barrel of the shotgun because he's about to get shot, and then he does get shot. Like, I don't know what led up to that, and I don't know why the cops said that or whatever. I have no idea. Like, I don't know how they knew he was armed or why they thought he was armed or whatever the fuck it is. But they're going to get their ass sued for doing that shit. Because if that's true, if it was because the cops told them to do that they ran out there with a fucking shotgun and pointed at a dude's chest, then the cops need to they need to be fired, and they need to go to fucking prison for instigating that entire situation, if that's true.
Okay, if you saw some people who were like shoplifting like this, right? You're like in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
You see this going on. You see people making a ruckus, like saying like, hey, stop stealing and stuff like that, but no one's doing anything, right? This would be the one time I would wish that I had a pocket knife. Because I would I'm not saying I would, but I would have the inclination potentially
pop all the tires.
Yeah, put on my mask, like put my hood up, put my hat on, so you can't identify me, just like they can't be identified, and just pop all 4 of their tires and walk away. It's not the hero they wanted, it's the hero they needed. That's just me. I don't know. I'm surprised no one's thought of this yet. Like, pop. Sorry, guys. Good luck getting home with your stolen goods. Hope that covers the tires that Jesus Christ. I guess you'd have to be ready to fight, too, if you did that. Because if they're doing that and you start popping their tires, they're going to fucking try to fight you. See, he had the right fucking spirit, but bad idea. Didn't do anything.
That cart almost took out that lady that was standing on the sidewalk.
Seriously. Let's watch that part again.
It looked like it went right by a lady or man. I couldn't tell. It happened so fucking quick. Yeah,
there's a lady right there.
2 people standing by the front. Okay, I didn't get as close as I thought.
Yeah, it went in her direction, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of like Rittenhouse pointing that gun at that dude. It was, you know, maybe not at him.
In the general direction.
I've got the fucking Flintstone song stuck in my head.
Read
the
Flintstones.
We started singing it. Dude, bro, just tell them you thought they were playing. That shouldn't be funny. I'm sorry. It's not funny. It's not even close. That's the antithesis of funny.
It is. Wow.
L228 says, how about you do nothing and call 911? Are you trying to be tried like Rittenhouse? The government supports their behavior. That is a very good point. It's a negative point, which is stand back and do nothing. Let the bad people do what they want. 911's not going to do anything. I'm just saying, dude, like, if people don't stand up and do anything when the government doesn't stand up and doing anything, then the behavior is going to continue. That's all. If everyone started slashing tires of people, it would end real quick. At least they wouldn't be getting away in cars anyway. It'd show up on a fucking, I don't know, dog sled.
Problem is they'd use all their fighting dogs, though, and then they wouldn't be able to get away.
It's true. Do you guys remember the King Soopers mass shooting in Colorado and Boulder?
Yeah, just a few months ago, right?
Yeah.
What was the dude who did it? What was his motivation? Do you guys remember? I don't remember anything about him.
I don't remember, but I remember, like, what didn't it turn out he was, like, it was like, I may be completely off here. I thought he was like, he had converted to Islam or some shit like that.
I remember there had been claims of that, but I don't know if that's what it actually was, because, like, when he came out, he was all, like, I remember he was in, like, tighty whities and had a beard. And they're like, oh, he's an Islam extremist or something.
Oh,
like,
that's what it was. Yeah, he was Islamic. That's what it was. I wonder if we're going to be seeing any more of that with what... I'm not looking at that screen, Matt. With all of the Afghani refugees. How many Afghanistan refugees did we bring in unvetted to this country this year?
A lot, I'm sure.
It was like 100 and something thousand. How many Americans did we leave in Afghanistan this year?
Oh, thousands.
What was the number the other day that we were looking at that was like, holy fuck? They said it was like around 100, and then they went to like, actually it's like 16,000 or something.
Yeah, it was like 14,000 is what they said. And that was from a leak from somebody that worked. It was, fuck, they didn't say who it was, obviously, because it was all private and, you know, whatever. But it was like somebody that works with one of the congressmen who works with the State Department, is apparently where the leak came from.
Oh, dude, I just watched Shang-Chi.
Oh, finally?
And it was muy spicy. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a good movie, man.
It is a good movie. Especially that part where, like, he finally takes over, like, half of the rings, then they have, like, the ring battle, and each of them have half the rings.
Yeah.
That part was badass.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I like that.
Yep.
Oh, you said you watched Finch the other day. What do you think?
It was good. It was a slow burn, like you were talking.
Yeah.
I didn't cry or anything like you did, because I'm not a girl, but, you know.
Oh, come on. That moment at the very end, or not the very end, but right before the thing happens.
Yeah. I mean,
that was like, I was like, oh, damn. It was like sad and sweet at the same time.
But then the thing made it to the place and everything was great, and he, found the pictures and put the picture on the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was happy. So I didn't
Yeah,
cry.
the thing.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be like it's
I
the
know.
fucking whole end of the movie. Here's what happens. 50,000 minimum? Is that true?
That I haven't heard.
I did not hear that. I thought it was like 16,000 or 13,000. It was a teen thousand. Teens and thousands. That's what I heard, but I don't remember, I guess. When's Wanamaker?
Right now.
April-
Well,
well, there's one right now. Yeah,
When are we going to Wanamaker?
the beginning of April, I think.
Can we crash at Ray Ray's house? Just show up. You're like, oh, it's cool. We'll just cut down some trees in the front yard and make a fort. We'll survive. We'll live on. Today we celebrate
Our Independence Day. Don't look at the screen, Honda. Don't look.
I'm not. I'm specifically ignoring whatever it is you're doing over there.
Don't do it.
Whatever this is.
You want to have a serious conversation about 9/11 right now?
How could you walk by that? I'd be like, here's $1. Keep going, girl. Ooh, here's $2. Do that shimmy shake thing you just did. I'm going to push you into that water over there. Now get out. Now do it again. Jesus. That's some talent. That's talent.
There you go.
No sugar added tomato ketchup. Is that any good?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried it.
Yeah, it tastes fine. It tastes like regular ketchup in my book.
It's like the same. Why do they add sugar then?
Because I think the original recipe came with sugar. Like, they just use artificial sweetener. That's all. It's like the same thing with, like...
So it's like fucking... Okay. It's like diet ice cream or something.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Because I eat so much ketchup, I need sugar-free ketchup. Maybe you should eat less French fries. I don't know.
For me, I don't eat a lot. Like, I don't eat a lot of ketchup, so when I buy it, like, that's just what I buy just out of habit, but I don't need to. Like my mom, like, she puts ketchup on literally everything.
I don't know. Ketchup is like mainly like, I don't know, hamburger
like
or
a
hot
burger
dogs.
or a hot dog. That's it. That's pretty much all I use.
I
ketchup
don't know, maybe
for.
some French fries or something, you know.
Yeah, rarely. Sometimes.
But then all I use is the sriracha ketchup. I haven't used regular ketchup in years.
Or I will put it on like eggs, like scrambled eggs or something. I'll put ketchup on.
I put sriracha on my scrambled eggs. Oh, love sriracha.
Oh, look, there's an illegal immigrant caravan going into Poland right now. It feels like pretty much every Western country is under assault in one form or another, but it seems to be following the same formula. Flood the country with illegal immigrants, refugees, migrant workers, whatever you want to call them, and then cater to those people, pay them so much money and do everything so that it destabilizes the economies. And then you create voting blocks out of those people that keep you in power. Where it goes from there, not quite sure. So, did you guys hear about Bannon getting fucking subpoenaed or whatever? I don't know what
he got subpoenaed, and then he didn't show before Congress, so they issued a. It's Congress's equivalent of a bench warrant because he didn't show up when he was subpoenaed. Which I really don't give two shits about Steve Bannon. He's a piece of shit. But
Raw Feeding says, I'm here for 2 seconds and I see a shaking butt. Just got home with my complete PSA lower. Rifle B pistol for my only right now AR.
I think he means rifle or pistol for his only AR. Because this is his first one. I would go rifle. Honestly.
Yeah, I'd go rifle if you're only going to have one.
Dude, I can't show the price of it or anything. Hold on, let me pull this up. It was from Palmetto State. A really cool fucking AR pistol. I thought it was cool anyway, the way they had it set up. Yeah, this one. Yeah, let me see the picture without the price. Look at that thing.
Oh, that's cool. Little mini A2 looking thing.
That is fucking cool.
Oh yeah, it's like a little heat AR.
Yeah, it's the one from that zombie movie in Vegas. I mean, all it is a fucking... Is that 14.5 or 10.5, do you think?
That's probably 10.5 would be my guess.
Yeah, I'd say 10.
Might even be 11.5. PSA sells quite a few 11.5 inch. That's what I've got.
Oh,
Stop. Don't look.
Jesus. Sorry about that, YouTube. It was a mistake. We didn't mean it. Please don't spite us. Smite.
You seen that meme? I don't know why I think it's so funny, but where it's that that meme that floats around the internet that everybody uses. It's like Spider-Man sitting there explaining something to Mary Jane, and she's looking at the camera like, "What the fuck?"
Yes.
And it's over Spider-Man. It says me explaining the new Naruto hand signs I learned, and it says, and then under her it says the deaf girl trying to understand why I want to rape a dinosaur.
Oh, that's great.
It's a child's AR-15. I like that. Oh, wow. Information from Google. What is this? HelpPad led Denver investigators to teenage arson suspects. What is a Google HelpPad?
I don't know.
Helped?
A pad that helped people, but not anymore. Only past tense.
Whatever. That's weird. Fucking Google.
Have y'all heard about this new Predator movie that's supposed to be coming out? Called Prey?
No.
I've heard very little about it. Is I think it's like it takes place like 200-300 years ago, and in like I forget which one it was, if it was like Apache or whatever, but it takes place in one of those nations, those tribes.
Okay.
And it's about predators showing up to fucking hunt, and then the I guess it's prey is whoever they're trying to hunt or something. It's from their perspective. Them like hunting predators with like a bow and arrow and a spear and shit. And it's done by the dude who did Cloverfield Lane.
Okay.
Oh, okay, nice.
So sounded cool. I don't know when it comes out, but I think it was coming. It's either going to Netflix or Hulu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that dude who got his fucking gun shop raided in Georgia or whatever, Matt?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, some guy did. The ATF came in and pretended to do a straw purchase that wasn't actually really a straw purchase by definition, maybe, arguably. And then raided his fucking shit and confiscated all of his guns and did a whole bunch of shit to him, and now he's got to deal with the law. Like, they came in posing as a husband and wife, right?
Okay.
Picked out like 3 or 4 guns that they wanted to buy.
Okay.
The wife fills out 4473s.
Okay.
The husband pays.
There's nothing wrong. I've literally done that for my wife when she wanted to buy a gun.
Right.
That's That's legal. You can buy guns for your spouse and like your kids and things like that, and you can pay for their guns. That's legal. That's not illegal to do. If I want to go right now and buy my wife a gun, I can go buy my wife a gun. And
So,
since it'll
like,
be
I
her
was at the
gun, I
gun
have
shop
her-
one time. And an interesting situation arose while I was there that I was overhearing, right? And it was a like 18-year-old kid with his mother. The mother had bought a full rifle from Palmetto, let's say, or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Had it shipped to the store, but the information that the store had was from her because she filled out the fucking online thing and swiped the credit card, right?
Yes.
The gun was for her son. The gun shop made her do a transfer in her name to herself, pay for that, and then made her do a transfer it to her son. Is that how they're supposed to do that?
I mean, that sounds kind of sketchy.
Right, because now she's got to fill out a 4473 saying, yes, this gun is mine and for me.
Yeah. So she
Even
just
though
lied.
literally it's not, and 5 seconds later they've got to do another 4473 for the kid.
So, as you know, because we've dealt with stuff like this, there are some gun shops that that's their policy. They will only give the gun to whoever it gets mailed, whatever that name is.
And some that will take it to
And some that
whatever name you send it to.
Like, for instance, you send it to somebody with the wrong last name.
Right. The right first name, you know.
So I think that's probably on a case-by-case basis, because technically there's nothing that I know of that's illegal about it, especially if you're talking about family members or whatever like that. But some are probably just trying to cover their ass. Although that sounds messed up to make her do a 4473, knowing she's not going to keep the gun, but telling her you have to do this. So that's the gun shop telling her to lie on a federal form.
Right. Exactly. That's what I was saying.
That's sketchy. I don't know that I would do that. I mean, I might just be like, look, I'm not going to do that. So I'll tell you what, you can just send the gun back and I'll figure it out some other way, because I'm not filling out a 4473 saying I'm the one that is going to be the owner of this gun when I'm not, you know, because that just seems suspicious, especially if she can prove that's her son. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is my son. Here's his ID. Look, we live in the same address. This is my kid. We both have our ID. I paid for it because I'm gifting it to him, but he is going to be the owner of this gun because now that he's 18, you know, I would just tell him that. And that should be good enough, because that's not illegal. You can buy family members firearms.
Beanbag bed, built-in pillow and blanket. That's actually nice.
No, it's kind of cool.
Get rid of the couch and put that in the living room.
Although, how comfortable is that long term? Like,
Well, beanbags always fucking fuck up after a while when they get all deflated and shit. Was at restaurant, you mom breastfeeding, no cover. What?
Was at a restaurant, a new mom was feeding with no cover. She was uncovered. She just whipped it out at the restaurant.
Dude, I've like been at a table, like, hey, we're ready to order. Okay, yes, what can I get for you, miss? Yes, it's a healthy young boy you have there. Anyway, milk. I mean, shit.
I was gonna say, like, do you ever ask, like, if she wants a glass for the youngster, like a sippy cup or something?
Or like that scene from I love the movie Liar Liar, Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
That scene when he gets in the elevator and that chick's got huge tits, and he's like, "Mama."
Dude, my little window fan broke. Like, I've had it for like 7 years or something like that. You know, and it finally just stopped working. So I went to Walmart to buy a new one. And I guess in Colorado, once the weather turns cold, you can't buy a fan anymore. All they sell is heaters. So I guess I have to go on to Amazon and order one or something. Whoa. Oh, that's not real. That's the one thing about 2021 that sucks. There's so many things that like almost look real, and you're like, oh no, that's not real. Exorcists and demonologists break down the satanic influence at Travis Scott Deadly concert. Exorcists from the Catholic Church and demonology experts broke down some of the Daily Caller the possible demonic activity at Travis Scott Astroworld Festival. In the aftermath, yada yada yada. Social media users stressed eeriness on the Astroworld. Imagery Travis Scott projects whether in the commercial reasons. Satanic imagery and satanic practices, no question, says Father John Sazda. Well, of course a fucking exorcist priest from the Catholic Church is going to look at a fucking rap concert and see Satanism. That's not news. When the Rittenhouse prosecutor says normal people don't ride around with body armor in their trunk. That's a cool picture. Good job, photographer. I've heard ram meat is really good. Damn, look at the balls on this guy. Jesus Christ.
You heard about the dude in it was here in Texas too. There was some clinic that got set up for COVID treatment, and I don't know who set the clinic up or what exactly all the details were, but apparently they had set a list of criteria, and this guy went in to try and get it because he had tested positive for COVID, and he wasn't feeling horrible or anything, but he was like, okay, well, I hear the monoclonal antibody treatment is, the best thing to get done. So he goes to this clinic, and they tell him, well, you don't meet the criteria. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you don't meet the criteria for who we're servicing. He said, what's the criteria? He's like, well, if you're over 65 or you have any health issues, but specifically right now, part of the criteria includes if you're Caucasian, you can't get treated. You don't fit the criteria.
Huh.
And so he records this video, like getting her to say that on camera, like without her knowing, because he's like, I can't. He's like, are you seriously denying me medical treatment because of the color of my skin? And she's like, well, that's the criteria. And he's like, okay, the fuck is this shit?
And if you think tough men are dangerous, wait until you see what weak men are capable of. It's true. That's why you need a gun. That's why you need to be able to protect yourself and your family, especially if things get bad and people start going out on the streets looking for food or for whatever. You want to have the ability to like deter a mob of people if you needed to, I think. Oh, hold on. My son just got home. I got it. Hold the line.
All right. Oh, since we're doing this, since he's walking away, I'm gonna just take over his chat here real quick. Here, you gotta listen to this shit. I can't screen share it because I'm not in control, but listen to this bullshit. It'd be better if you could see this chick with her half-shaved head and green lipstick, and she's explaining pronouns.
Do you see this person next to me? He is my friend. C has had to put up with a lot to get to where Per is today. I just want to let Glint know.
Per and Glit are now pronouns. Per and Glit. What the fuck is a glit?
I have no idea. I don't want to know.
I don't.
That thon is valid.
Thon.
That verb pronoun.
I mean, is that Star Wars thon? Not spelled the same way, but Jesus.
Are valid. And that Sarah identity is valid. I wish Void all the best.
Void. I wish Void all the best.
Look forward to maybe even seeing some of their lovely content someday. Please, treat them with respect, and I'm
Them.
sure A will respect you too.
Them. VEM. They're just making shit up, man. Like this isn't real. They can't believe this shit is real, right? Can they? There's no fucking way.
I would say no, but then when you look at them and they have like that dead look in their eyes, and they're like, "What do you mean?" Like they believe just stupid, nonsensical shit.
Who the fuck came up with glit and thought void was a pronoun? It makes it harder and harder to tolerate the bullshit. It's getting completely out of hand. Completely out of hand.
I identify as a bigot.
How are you doing today, Glit? How is
Wait,
demon
what?
self?
My demon self is demon.
Good. I am glad. I don't even know how to respond to some of this shit.
What are we talking about? The demon self people?
Yeah.
You know what? They keep getting so much attention, Matt. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you give it to them. That's why. Ignore them; they will go away. Just like any, I don't know. I'm starting to think maybe part of this is like a trend, right? Because like think about, I don't know, and this happened a lot around where I live, maybe 10 years ago. Like the early 20s kids, like the 20-somethings, would wear these flat bill hats, and then they'd have like pins all over them from things that they've gone to. And the more pins you had on your hat, the cooler you were, right?
They had their flair.
And now those kids are like 30-something, right? They're not cool anymore. But some of them are still hanging on to those pin hats like they are. 10 years from now, it'll be, a couple of these kids will be like, demon self. And everyone's going to be like, shut the fuck up.
People need to start doing that shit now. Shut the fuck up.
Like, you're dumb. I switched from coffee to vodka, by the way.
Oh, okay. So do you prefer to go by waiter or server?
I prefer to go by master or baiter.
Okay.
But
Apparently it's now no longer PC to say waiter or waitress.
Boy.
Boy. Come here, boy.
You may call me garçon. Actually, garçon means boy. If you didn't watch Pulp Fiction, you didn't know that.
He actually, his favorite term is you Chris Wallace-looking motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. You are looking a little Chris Wallace-y today.
Me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Chris Wallace.
Chris Wallace.
Me.
Not Chris Matthews. Chris Wallace.
Fuck that guy, dude. He's like a sentient walking suit for the establishment.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
would you like to know what how to use gender neutral words and why they're important in an article on Teen Vogue?
I really wouldn't. I would prefer to never hear about that stuff, to be honest. I would actually can we start a petition to ban Never Enough Ammo from libs of TikTok?
I'm on Teen Vogue, dude. I'm not on libs of TikTok.
Fine, let's cut it down. Let's start somewhere, You gotta make the difference where you can, where it counts. Hey, now I have a hat with a bunch of pins on it, so suck it. See, super bad videos is one of those kids. That's great. Yeah, you're just a couple of years younger than me, like 8-10 years, something like that. Dude, I'm turning 40 this fucking year, bro.
Old as balls.
40 fucking years old. Ugh. I don't want to be 40. Actually, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I just don't want to like get any older than I am already, you know? Like, I'm old enough. I'm already fucking over it enough. I don't want to turn into my grandpa who's just like this angry old man all the time. Just sit in his fucking chair. Did you ever meet any of your grandparents? I mean, your grandma, obviously, but any of the other ones?
I think at one point I did meet one of my grandfathers like right before he died, but he died when I was like 4. So it's not like I really remember it.
Right. Yeah, like my one grandpa died when I was like 9, I want to say. But I didn't know him very well, but I do remember him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Goddamn, Daniel spent $80,000 on a truck today.
Jesus. Oh, must be a hell of
So
a
he
truck.
got the base
Congrats.
model.
That's just how much new trucks cost, dude. If you want a
Yeah.
new truck, it's like 80 grand.
It's insane.
Oh, you got to screen share this. Hold on, I got to show you this. Let me see. So these are 2 articles that came out, like, I think a day apart from each other. Judge in Kyle Rittenhouse trial faces backlash from Asian food joke. Definitely not okay.
Says who?
You remember the joke? Oh, we talked about this already. Right.
Yeah, because it was the Asian food waiting on the boats. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a racist joke or anything.
It wasn't even funny, really, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
But this one here, the artificial controversy over Biden and Negro explained, because he went on a rant the other day and said like Negro twice in the same sentence. And everybody's like, what the fuck did you just say? But they're defending him on this, of course, because they have to. But they'll defend Biden for saying Negro twice in the same fucking sentence.
Does everyone remember your homework assignment that they have to ask a liberal friend of theirs in a month about?
I forgot already.
Whether or not they remember if Biden said the word
saying
Negro.
that,
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But
My bet is they won't, because that's probably the only article about it, you know?
yeah. But Asian food jokes about the container ships, that's wrong.
Definitely not okay.
That's where we're at now, people. Just so you know, the president of the United States can say Negro in a sentence twice, and nobody bats an eye. Well, he gets defended. Can you imagine if Trump said that?
Can you imagine if Trump stood on this stage like Cornholio fucking taking a dump? What the fucking media would have done? And I probably might have agreed with him to some extent if that had happened.
Yeah, if he just stood there blank staring
Just like,
and shit his pants. Looked like he shit his pants. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
like what was that? Was he like having some sort of a fucking? Because I was reading somewhere that that's a method that people with Alzheimer's have to hold themselves a little bit more steady when they're. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but like you tense your arms up.
Well,
Like it helps out with it somehow.
all I know is I showed my wife that clip, and she used to be an administrator at a nursing home, and she said there's definitely that is definitely a sign of abnormal mental degradation. Like not just the normal amount that somebody of his age would have, but like an abnormal level for given his age and all that kind of stuff, and what we know about his health. So,
Well, we'll never learn it. Like
no, never will.
Like the government itself will never disclose that information unless it's like, all right, Biden's dying now. Like, I'm pretty sure they might even like deep fake him if it got bad enough, you know? We just have a deep fake president. What was that movie where the president had a stroke and they brought in the guy who looked just like the president? Dave, that's such a good movie, dude.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
We need President Dave, the replacement guy.
We do. We need President Dave. Or the president from Independence Day. I'm good with either one of them.
Well, he balanced the whole budget. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which couldn't happen in real life, by the way.
Not from the president, no.
Not from the president.
It's got to be Congress to do that.
Yep.
Super Bad Video says, my wife's family defends him for using that term. See, the people who are going to be, it doesn't matter what they do or what they say. Because if it's from the opposition side, it's going to be bad. And if it's from your side, then it's going to be good, or we can explain it. We can explain why when your side did it, it was bad. But when our side did it, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of hypocrisy. Hypocritical bullshit. That's it. That's what it boils down to. Oh, yeah, this is that fucking thing I was telling you about. Here, listen to shit.
Dude, I was reading an article real quick before you do that.
Yeah.
About a family who was suing the school because the school had given their kid the jab without permission because they got them confused with another kid when they were doing it.
Oh, my God.
So they got permission from one kid to get the jab at school. And then they like call the other kid to the office and give him the jab.
Somebody should get sued. I don't know what I would do if one of my kids came home and said, they gave me a shot today or whatever. Like my 7-year-old came home saying that shit, I'd lose my fucking mind. I'd lose my fucking mind.
All right, player video. What is this?
This is the dude getting denied medical service because he's white.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not gonna be able to get it today because I don't qualify. Yeah. What if I like smoke and vape? I heard that was no. Okay. But if I were black and Hispanic, then I'd be able to qualify. Okay. I'm being denied medical service because of my race. Is that?
That's the criteria.
Yeah.
So what I do, I go around and make sure everyone meets the criteria.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the criteria that you're set for. If you're 65, you'll be good. But you're healthy, and you're healthy and no medical conditions. So research showed that you should be able to fight off COVID.
And he's white. She keeps trying to leave that out of the conversation.
So if you're black or Hispanic, you can get treatment.
Yes.
If you're old or sick, you can get treatment.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're healthy and white, they kick you out.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That's what she keeps saying. Well, that's the criteria we were given. We were given criteria. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, who set this? Because this happened in Texas.
The fuck is going on in Texas?
I don't know. But yeah.
I guess the cities are still Democrat run. Some of them.
Some of them are, yeah. Oh, there's a little glit. Fucking glit.
I got to give you executive powers on my channel, Matt, through the duck. I forgot to do that.
The diggity duck.
Did you see the Tim Pool rant? We watched this before you hopped on.
Oh, what?
Sounds like me. We were watching it, and I'm like, damn, that sounds like a Honda fucking quote.
What is it?
Here, I'm getting to it.
Or with you, and they will burn your life to the ground like they're doing to Rittenhouse and like they're doing now to James O'Keefe because you dare oppose their power grab. This is not a joke, and it is getting worse. And in the next 10 years, as we enter the fourth turning and it escalates, it is going to get worse. James O'Keefe is a journalist. The federal government stole his privileged legal communications and gave it to the New York Times, who published it with a smile on their faces. These people do not hold your values. They do not believe in the Constitution. The prosecutor in the Rittenhouse case violated the Constitution. They will do it again. They will do it more, and they will burn down your town, and the feds will protect them, and the police will protect them. Stop thinking the institutions are on your side. This country is being corrupted, and we are watching it every day. And it has gotten to the point where you need to ask yourself, will the police protect you when someone comes to your town and threatens to kill you? No. The detectives in Kenosha, the state, the prosecutor went against the young man who was fleeing for his life. And James O'Keefe, an anti-establishment individual, and I mean that with respect, but he is outright just a journalist, is facing the boot of the authoritarian fascist government. And it will get worse, and it will happen to you because you keep complying. And you keep saying, but my kids need food! And now inflation is here, and there's food shortages, and your kids aren't eating, and the schools are indoctrinating your kids. Now we see a turnaround with young kids because the parents are standing up. But too many people keep saying, as long as I keep filleting the state and dropping on my knees for the far left extremists, I will squeak by, and you will not. The police will come to your home. They will kick your door in, and they will arrest you because the good cops have already started quitting. And like we saw in Seattle, the police arrested the man who was retreating from Antifa as Antifa approached him with clubs in hand. And they apologized to Antifa over it. Like we saw in the Chaz, when several men unloaded hundreds of rounds into an SUV, and then the extremists stripped the evidence from the vehicle, and none of those people are brought to justice. And now we are at the point where Project Veritas is having their private, privileged, legal communications leaked to the New York Times with a smile on their face, violate all norms, all respect, and lack all scruples. And you think sitting back and complying will result in you getting by. You are wrong. I'm sick of this.
Preach. Yeah, what do you do when...
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good rant.
It sounds a lot like something I would say. I don't know.
You gotta love a good rant once in
I
a while.
feel like he's been watching. Superbad says you can go off on some interesting with a dash of conspiracy rants, but if you didn't, it would be another Yankee style chat. LOL. Well, Lord knows we don't want to just be another Yankee out there filleting ourselves. That's why I'm pro balkanization. What is balkanization? It's like splitting the states up and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what happened with the Balkans. You know, they broke off and split up, and because they just couldn't, they could not exist couldn't exist together anymore.
They couldn't get along.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough patch they had there for a while.
Daniel says I'm giving myself a lot of credit. I don't know, maybe. Let on Steel says, and y'all see that pharmacy in Aldi, Virginia, gave the wrong dose of the jab to over 100 children.
Mm-hmm. I did see that.
What happens to a kid when you give them an adult, like...
The most common thing is the myocarditis or whatever. It seems to be a common one.
Hey, let's inject our kids with this thing that protects them from a disease that kills a statistically insignificant number of our kids. What are the side effects? We'll have to wait and see. I don't know, man. Dude, if the country starts splitting up into different states and the countries and shit, I think I gotta get the fuck out of Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know if Texas is a good place either, though, to be honest. There's so many people there, dude. Like, shit goes bad, you got a lot of people to worry about. I'm thinking Montana. No one lives there.
I mean, that is where the first officer in Hunt for the Red October wanted to go to, so...
Well, he had a good point.
Get yourself a recreational vehicle.
See, Savage is backing me up. That Tim rant legit felt like listening to Honda when he's pissed. Mark Poole is a narc fool. Yeah, I don't have any Montana money, though. It does cost money to live in Montana.
That's where all the rich people went and bought up all the fucking land.
Well, it's amazing how much land is up there, though. Like, just uninhabited, fucking wild, but it's all owned by either tribes or the government.
Yeah, but what you do is you just make friends with them, and then you just go and, like, chop down some trees. You can just build yourself a homestead.
I've been to Arizona. It's way too hot there, man. You guys live in like a fucking sand-bake oven.
It's only hot in the summertime.
Yeah, only like a fourth of the year.
A good third.
Dude, when I was in I stopped in Arizona to get gas. It was so hot when I got out of my car that I thought that my car was overheating and that was the heat coming off of the car. And it wasn't until I took like 5 steps away from the car that I was like, oh, it's just that hot here. Feelings on Tim throwing Alex under the bus. Tim Pool throwing Alex Jones under the bus?
How so?
I don't know. I didn't see that. If he did. Elaborate. Enhance. 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 Enhance.
Honda, we all know how a Zoom works on a phone. So, like, it's okay. You don't have to enhance it.
Bah. Uh-oh. What's up, Leo?
Hey, what up?
How you doing, man?
Hurting. Back hurts. Back hurts. Feet hurt. All that.
Butthole hurts.
Usually, but that's every day.
That's every night for you.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, you're saying when Alex got banned from everything, Tim Pool came out and supported it? I didn't realize he supported Alex Jones being banned.
I didn't either. In fact, I was pretty sure I've heard him say the opposite. Now, I mean, maybe not right at that time. I don't remember hearing exactly what he said right when it happened.
Well, I mean, when they came for Alex Jones and they took him off the internet, they showed their power. They showed what they could do. No one fucking got upset about it. Not anyone important anyway. And so they were like, okay, this is something we can do now. And they started going after other people like Stefan Molyneux and on and on and on until like all of these people who used to be on YouTube, who used to be like this, I don't know, conspiracy fucking tube of YouTube, like the side of it or whatever, they're all gone, dude. All the big ones. Corbett Report, gone. Fucking, I don't know. Alex Jones makes you look like a newbie when it comes to rants. Well, yeah, but that's because he does these like voices and stuff, and like he'll be like, I can't even do it.
Like when he does Cobra Commander.
Yeah, like when he does Cobra Commander. Yes, that's a good example. He'll just do like Cobra Commander and then be like, we are after your children. Yes, feed us your children so we can suck their souls out and bring back the Satan that we want to bring to this world. That punk
kind of sound like
Franco celebrated Jones's banning. I never liked Phil DeFranco. I never listened to him very much.
I remember him like early on, like really early in YouTube. You know what I mean? Like we're talking like 2008, 2009, 2010, that era. I would watch some of his stuff, but then he sold his fucking company to his company became SourceFed or something like that.
I don't even know.
He sold his company and then started a different YouTube channel. He sold his company for a whole bunch of fucking money, and then I kind of stopped watching him after that. I can't remember when that was. He sold it in like 2011, 2012, something like that. And it became one of the, it was either like BuzzFeed or SourceFed or one of those. I think used to be his company. That was what he started with his YouTube channel, and then he sold it all over to them.
Savage dropped in $10. Thank you. Let's take a drink for that. Fuck yeah. Thank you, Savage.
Have no beer today, but here's a Diet Coke.
Am I the only one wondering if all the Rittenhouse shit is getting hyped to plant the seeds of a new civil war, quote unquote, kicking off more riots when he gets off and emboldening the people to take up arms against it? Well, I mean, there is the story about the National Guard gearing up to go in to quell riots post Rittenhouse trial fucking conclusion. Which, if you remember a couple of days ago, I was like, is it time to go to Kenosha? Apparently, it might be time to go to Kenosha.
Yeah, I heard it's more like 500 have been called up so far from the number I heard. Yeah, it only takes me about 40 minutes to get to Kenosha.
I don't know, man. I really honestly hope that they let him off with a slap on the wrist for what he did. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. The only thing he did wrong, he's not even being charged for, which is how he got the gun. Which, you know, the ATF's going to come back and charge him with that.
Yeah.
Like, especially with the fact that it's come out in open court in front of the world and everybody, you know. They are going to come back and charge him. Even if they give him 10 years or 50 years in prison for this, for what they've already charged him for, they will take him out of prison and make him go through court again to charge him and get him 5 to 10 more. Dude, I had an argument with my boss. It was one of the managers at work. Like, we were talking about this was this morning, right? And he was basically saying, or I guess it was last night. He was basically saying, like I was talking about the Rittenhouse trial and how, like, this and that, and, like, the defense did this, and he was just taken aback. He couldn't believe that someone would support this kid who brought a gun across state lines and hunted people in the middle of a riot, is what he thought the facts of the case were. And then I was like schooling him on this and that and this and that, and like, oh, you can actually carry a gun if you're 17 and da-da-da-da-da, and it didn't cross state lines and yada yada yada, and his fucking town is 10 minutes down the road and da-da-da-da-da. And then he was like, well, no one asked him to be there. He didn't have to be there. Why was he there? And I'm like, because he was a hero. I walked away. I pissed him off real bad, dude. It was great. I don't give a fuck, dude. Fuck you. You're not the one who holds... The general manager can fire me. You can only recommend it, so suck a dick. Oh, Jesus Christ. Daniel's asking about Milo. Whatever happened to Milo, you know? I mean, he got fucking filleted. He got flayed in the fucking media because he made a joke about older men and younger boys or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was all one fucking accusation of pedophilia, and you're out. I used to like Milo, though. Milo Yiannopoulos, like, listening to him, he was funny.
Yeah, he was. I think he got, I think it was because, you know, supposedly a priest was the one who molested him, and he thought it was fine because he was also with it. And he thought that he had, like, the mental capacity, even at that age, to be fine with that. It was something towards along the lines. It was like a long.
No, that's what it was. He was joking about it and acting like,
Okay.
oh, it's perfectly fine because, you know, it happened to me and I was all into it and I enjoyed it. So,
well, now you can go on Libs of TikTok and make a video about your book about, what was it? Minor attracted people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. That guy needs to be flayed.
Map.
We should respect what they want to be called. No, we shouldn't. We should light them all on fire. That's what we should do. That's the appropriate response. I don't give a fuck what they want to be called.
First, when I heard it, I thought that was people who were fugly,
That's what I thought
minor
too.
attractive person, right?
That's what I was thinking.
Right.
It's like, nope.
Right.
It's
I'm not a
way worse.
supermodel, but
I'm mildly attractive.
yeah, I'm mildly attractive. That's what I thought at first. They're like, oh, okay.
Daniel says, I forgot Milo isn't gay anymore.
Yeah, I forget exactly what happened. It was fuck, what was it? I did this story. Yeah, he came out and said something about how he like found God and he's no longer gay or some shit like that.
Wow.
This was a while. This was like last year, I think.
But even when he first came out, he was like he tried to make it a point at least once a year to fuck one woman. At least once a year. You said that when he first came out.
Maybe he was just gay for pay. Savage says, speaking of, has anyone told Hannah about our Norse ornithology trip?
Wait, that's the fuck, I forgot. We were just talking about this last night. Why am I blanking? Ah, shit.
Were you drunk?
No, not at that point, I don't think.
Okay.
We were saying something about Norse stuff last night, and somebody said something, and I don't remember what the hell it was, and I don't remember.
Oh,
Savage,
yeah,
remind me,
remember
refresh my memory of what we were talking about.
But
I'm remembering something about Norse ornithology, or whatever the fuck it's called. I just does strike a chord, but I just can't remember what.
What does ornithology mean?
The study of birds, I believe, right?
Yep.
That's right. The blood eagle. That's what he's talking about. That's what it was. We were talking about. That's what we should do to pedophiles.
That's
blood
right.
eagles.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Now it's all coming back.
See, I knew it was something.
Yeah. When you cut open their back and you spread their skin out in their ribs and stuff like an eagle or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Spread them out like wings.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you crack their ribs open to where it looks like wings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fly like a bird, wanna fly away. Sorry.
You'd have to like break their ribs, right? Like each of the ribs would have to be broken right here.
They would take a small hatchet, like an axe, and chop the ribs off right at the spine, and then crack them open.
It sounds like a pretty awful thing to have done to you.
While alive.
No, he voluntarily went to gay transformation therapy. Does that work for anybody? Apparently for that dude, but it was always something that I thought like, okay, like I like a certain type of girl, right? Like physically. It's hard for me to like a different type of girl. Certainly not like a dude or, like something way outside of that realm. Because you like what you like. And that's very hard to like change that, I would think. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have spare hatchets if anyone needs one, says Savage. I don't know. We should just find that map guy. Whoever that map person that we were watching. Like, he needs to be blood eagled, I think.
Yeah, he's some fucking professor, I don't remember where, who actually apparently wrote a book about it, too.
Right. Well, that's the thing. If you write a book about that, I think that's, like, fair game. Like, you're done, bro.
Well, that's the thing, too. We were talking about this last night. Like, right or wrong, if you defend pedophiles in any way, I'm going to assume you're a pedophile.
Well, okay, so if you defend a pedophile, I feel like that's almost worse than being a pedophile because you're propagating more pedophiles, right? If you write a book defending pedophiles, that's worse than just defending pedophiles because you, like, really put a lot of thought and time into it.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Like, you really believed it. You wrote a whole fucking book about it, dude.
Actually, I think they should be castrated before the blood eagle.
I mean,
What
well,
would be the most
Castrate and
painful
then
way
blood
to
eagle.
die? Like the most painful thing you could go through on the way to death.
being nailed down to a table and then having each individual ball nailed to the table slowly.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's like step one. Yeah, go on.
no. You what's the movie with Kurt? Is it Kurt Russ? No. What the fuck's his name? Law-abiding citizen. What he does to the guy that like
Kurt
kills
Russell,
his
you talking
family.
Bone Tomahawk?
No. Have you ever seen the movie Law-abiding Citizen? Gerard Butler. I don't know why I was thinking Kurt Russell.
Oh
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Where like he uses like the pufferfish poison and like paralyzes the guy, so he's paralyzed but he can feel everything, and he's like literally like eyelids, lips, like each appendage, like
I just don't like the way
like
that movie
everything,
ends.
like slowly.
That's
cuts
one thing
in,
I
like,
don't like about that movie.
Yeah,
I was
it's
thinking
a
like
bad
a
ending.
hand crank fucking grinder, right? And you grind them and you grind them. Like, oh, gone too far. And then you back them out. And then you like wait a minute. And then you slowly start grinding them again. You get a little bit higher. And then you back them out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess you'd bleed to death that way too.
Or set one leg on fire, put it out. Set the other leg on fire, put it out. Set the other arm on fire, put it out.
Yeah, maybe
So
get like a 3 square inch fucking hot metal iron piece or whatever, and brand a 3-inch square of your skin, and then get it red hot, and brand the next 3 square inches, and then get it red, and just 3 or even 1 square inch at a time. You do like every
Over and
square inch
over.
of your body. Oh. If you lose consciousness, we just take a break and wait for you to wake up again.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I always thought burning to death would be probably one of the worst. Although if something's really hot, it doesn't feel very hot, does it? Have you ever touched something like so fucking hot it feels almost cold? Like when you first touch it?
I don't know. I don't think I have.
If I did cooking videos, would anyone watch? Pork stew, red stew, pan-fried steaks, gumbo, maybe off work for a while. How about some subs before super chats allowed? How many subs before super chats are allowed? You need 1,000 subscribers, and it's like 4,000 hours of watch time in the past 12 months, if I remember correctly. Which that's the harder part to get, honestly, especially if you're making like just regular videos, you know, and people are watching an average of 5 minutes. That means you got to have like thousands and thousands and thousands of views. Well, I guess 4,000. You need like 1,000 views at an hour. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, Lord. Wow.
All right, I'll be back. Give me a second.
Wow. Vaccine
don't look for the
free.
I would say, yeah, don't look for the super chats. Just do like a Patreon first, and have that under the video title or something.
I mean, if you can get your video quality up high enough, which is really hard to do, you need like a almost studio setting and better cameras and all the other shit and like a storyboard with a fucking like here's what we're gonna do and here's some lines that I want to include and da 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 da, you know.
And then you gotta have a personality to go with it.
And then editing skills and yeah, it's a bitch, dude. It's a lot to like. Watch what Baking with Babish or Basics with Babish, the Babish guy. Like he's really, really good at that shit. Like if you can get any like shade of that, like I think you're doing pretty good.
Binging with Babish, that's what it is.
Most people suffocate before they actually burn to death, says Daniel. That's terrible.
That's what I've heard with like people that die in fires is like Most of
Yeah.
them die of suffocation, not from actual burning.
Right, which means all of the burning that your body does just burns you and feels like, and then you die of like breathing in smoke and not air until your lungs fry and you fucking can't breathe air and you die. Like drowning would be way better. You just breathe in water until you're dead. The majority of Hollywood defends pedophiles on a regular basis. They don't just talk about what their buddies do behind closed doors. That's very true, and there's been a lot of that going on, like the fucking Corys, the whole Corey story.
Yeah.
Like those dudes were definitely passed around, you know what I mean? And they were abused, and they were fucked up because of it, and they weren't allowed to talk about it or taken seriously by talking about it because of the people who want to cover that shit up. Do I watch the Salty Cracker? I've heard of him. I maybe have watched one or two, but no, I don't regularly.
Yeah, I watched a couple of videos, but that was a long time ago.
Tara, drop a link to your channel. We'll get you some subs. Drop it in. Drop it like it's hot. You're like 140 people watching right now. You'd be 15% of the way there almost. Corey Long says, getting burned sucks. I suffered second-degree burns on half of my right arm. From an accident, my sister suffered third and fourth degrees on 40% of her lower body from separate accident. Jesus Christ, you guys need to like stop burning shit. Keep your kids away from fire.
I see a pattern here.
Yeah, drowning is too fast and painless. Like, honestly, like, I almost drowned when I was a kid. I was in a pool. Like, I was jumping in off the diving board and going down to the bottom of the pool and then kicking off of the bottom and coming back up to the top. And like, the 15th time I did it or something like that, I went down to the bottom of the pool. I tried to kick off, and my, like, foot slipped or something. And, like, I didn't like opening my eyes under the pool water because it burned, so I didn't want to open my eyes. And then I didn't know which way was up, so I started swimming sideways. And then I ran out of air and opened my eyes and realized which way was up, and then started swimming up, and I couldn't make it before I really, really, really needed to breathe. And so I took a full breath of pool water in my lungs.
Ooh.
And the weird thing was, the pool water, when I breathed it in, felt like air. Like, my body was like, oh, you breathe. Good. Well, we can stop freaking out then. I know if I'd kept breathing water, it probably would have been good.
Right. I don't know scientists, but maybe because, you know, that bubble brought in, like, whatever air it had intake and water along with it. Some shit could be. I don't know. Who knows? Made it feel like air.
Savage says, I have Matt and Angry's answer already. Picks for a future pup for Savage. Also, fire is a great educational experience. I really like the Belgian Molyneux. That's not a normal one that people really pick. They are strong. They're intelligent. They're very emotional. They attach to their owner and protect them against everything, no matter what. They're a great guard dog. They're a great companion for kids. Like, if they are a puppy around kids, they will love those kids and protect them from everybody always. They're great dogs. I really like them.
I go with a Turkish Kango. It's a massive, huge dog, bred for guarding. Has the most, I think, power as far as jaw wise of any domestic dog.
Roy Munson says, didn't your dad blow himself up by trying to set weeds on fire? Yes. And you're telling other people's families to stay away from fire? Yes. Any other questions?
No by experience.
Corey Long says, my burn was a welding accident. Yeah, you'll have that. You'll have that when you're welding. Jesus, man, I'm fucking tired. The last couple of days kicked my ass.
I'm on the struggle bus right now.
I just work so fucking hard at work, dude. Like, I don't want to work that hard, but you end up having to do it because you just have to do it, you know?
Yeah. Either that or you don't eat and become homeless, you know. It's just the small stuff.
Daniel says, are you describing Stefan Molyneux? I wasn't, but I do enjoy listening to Stefan on occasion. I think he's got some really interesting, unique points from a unique point of view that's helpful to know. And a lot of the time, he makes really good points that are hard to refute. Another person who got kicked off of YouTube, you know, for not having views that the powers that should not be agree with. Basically, he got kicked off for supporting Trump. Yeah, I don't know, man.
All right, what happened? What's going on? Does that cartoon have a heart on? The fuck?
It kind of looks like it, doesn't it? A wee little one right here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you hear about YouTube removing the dislike button?
Yeah.
Is that true, right? Can you go to a YouTube video and not hit dislike?
Well, it's not that the button's not there, but it doesn't show the number of dislikes anymore. Only the person who made the video, uploaded it, can actually see how many dislikes something has.
Right.
So,
when you go to the page, it just says dislike and a thumbs down, but it doesn't show the number.
Every video I'm looking at still has a number.
Oh, well, maybe it hasn't gone into effect yet.
Oh, well, on mine, it's in effect. On my laptop.
Every video I'm looking at has a number.
Huh. Maybe there's a certain point it cuts off and stops showing it or something. I don't know.
Or if it's like ratioed, I think is the term. Where you like that's what they call it on Twitter anyway. Like if you make a Twitter post and everyone in the comments section is just owning you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Here, watch this. I don't know if you've seen this. Share this real quick. This video. I don't know if y'all have seen this. It's fucking hilarious.
I slapped the shit out of you, young man. I wish you better back up, young man.
Hey, y'all seen this?
Young man. This ain't what you want. Back you better back the fuck up out my face, goddammit. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Don't play with me. You better find you a goddamn toy.
I think it was set up.
That's fucking great.
He slapped the spit out of him.
Yeah.
Smacked the shit out of that dude.
Something just exploded.
What the fuck? Oh shit. Anyway, I love that fucking video. I always make
are they only doing it for? Yeah, I think they're only doing it for videos that get ratioed. So if it's like 5,000 dislikes and 1,000 likes or whatever, they're like, oh, there's 1,000 likes on this video.
I just heard a large explosion outside. I'm not going out there until I hear sirens.
You should go out there on your patio.
Now it's cold as shit outside too.
Do you have any long guns, Leo? Or are you not allowed to have those where you're at?
Shotguns, yes, and bolt action rifles, yes. That's about it.
You see the fire?
Oh, so it is a fire?
Yeah.
There's a fire out there?
Yeah, the garage.
Oh, which garage? Yeah, I think something just happened.
Oh shit! Switch to your phone. We want to see some coverage.
Yeah, there outside. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, goddamn.
It's
All right,
always
hold on.
interesting. It's always an interesting time when Leo's in the chat.
How can I switch the camera?
Tap it twice sometimes.
Can you see it from here?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! That's like.
Yep.
Go to the right a little bit more. There you go. Damn, bro.
the hell happened?
Leo's neighborhood's burning down.
Jesus.
Mm.
That old tree's catching on fire, dude. Dude, you better get yourself a fucking hose and start
Wow.
spraying your yard down.
All right, I'll be back.
I was watching this video of this guy. His house was in the path of wildfires in the forest and shit. And he just turned on all the sprinklers and shit like around his house. And fucking left and came back or whatever, you know? Oh. And his whole house was still there. His yard was fine. Not saying that would happen every time, but certainly worked in his case. Looks like someone's lab just went up in smoke. Do you think they're making meth across the street, Leo? Yeah, I'm going to take that as a yes. Nearly half of local public health agency officials have resigned in Colorado. What? What was that giant blue dude from God, what's the name of that movie? Comic book movie. Giant blue dude.
Dr. Manhattan?
That's the one. Is that Manhattan on Mars? Didn't he go up to space and live in space for a while? Like leave the Earth?
Yeah.
Where did he go?
I don't want to say like Venus or something, but I could be wrong on that. Or like like the moon of Titan or something. I feel like it was one of those places. It may have been Mars. Though. It may have been Mars.
Yeah.
Jesus, I just sneezed twice. That was bad. Woo! Another one? Maybe? Ugh, never mind. Okay, I'm going to sneeze.
Do it.
I'm not going to sneeze. Okay, we're good. Joseph Rosenbaum raped children. That's why I like Tim Pool. He likes to put little factoids out like that. Oh. The Second Amendment is not about duck hunting. Let's see what this dude has to say.
Amendment. This is a short barreled rifle. It wasn't designed for hunting. This is designed to kill people. But if you're not a bad guy, I support your right to own one. The Second Amendment is not about duck hunting. It's about protecting your family and your country. What's the first thing the Taliban did when Joe Biden handed them Afghanistan? They took away people's guns. That's
true.
how it works. I'm Blake Masters. I'm running for the U.S. Senate in Arizona. And I approve this message because without gun rights, before long, you have no rights.
Angry, vote for that guy. It's crazy fucking Leo's neighborhood's burning down and all of a sudden he's like not on the chat anymore.
Oops.
Dude, I hate the fucking leftist media. They just spin everything, don't they? They can't just tell a story. They have to tell selected facts from a story that fit their narrative. And if the facts don't fit, they just call everyone liars and Russians. That's an interesting pair. Kanye West and fucking Elon Musk. Bro, that's gotten bigger. Oh, they're coming. Do you see any people out there, Leo?
So just firefighters.
Is there anyone like coming out of the? Did you see anyone come out of the house, or is there anyone like out front or whatever? I think Leo froze again. Tara says, I'm at the TA in Prescott, Arizona. Way in the back, dark, can't walk well enough to make it to the truck stop. 4,000 milligrams of ibuprofen today. It's not enough. Told the boss I need time off. He said clean out my truck. So wait, you've been working... Okay, let me back up. Your friend who you work with at the same company literally worked himself to death because he was out on a like run or whatever and couldn't make it to pick up his prescriptions and ended up dying, right? Same company that you work for. You have now said, I need some time off because I'm injured. I can't even walk right now. I'm taking all this ibuprofen. Everything sucks. I need some time off to heal. And they said, fuck you, clean out your truck? Am I hearing this right?
If that's the case, I'd say fuck them.
I missed a super chat.
That sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I would call a lawyer. Like, clean out your truck and call a lawyer. Like, Though I do like the Malinois. Oh, the Belgian Malinois. Honda picking it and horribly mispronouncing it felt like he wanted to say German Shepherd, but was too mainstream. German Shepherds aren't bad. The problem with German Shepherds is the shedding. They shed a fucking lot. All they do is make fur and leave it everywhere they go. And if you're okay with that and you're okay with vacuuming, 12 times a week and having one of those little lint rollers every time you go out of the house, I say go for it. But AR equals Arkansas, DA equals Honda. What are we talking about? What was your last chat, Daniel, that you're referring to? Did you see Tucker said he died doing what he loved? Joke on air. Tucker's an annoying brat, but he's got balls. What is this died doing what he loved joke? Does anyone know?
What is it?
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, what he said about Rosenbaum?
Oh, is that what it was? Chase.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's now that I know the context of the joke, it's actually funny. Because, dude, to me, like, if you're a pedophile, it's fuck you, dude. I hope Satan's ass raping you right now. Like, honestly. Malinois sheds a lot too. Yeah, I guess they do. You're probably right. There's not much of a difference there, I guess. Get a German Shepherd, dude. German Shepherds are good dogs. My buddy had a German Shepherd growing
Only-
up, and she
only
was like
issue-
the nicest fucking dog, dude.
Only issue with shepherds, and like you're gonna run the same thing with the Malinois, is hip. They have lots of hip issues after like 7-8 years old. Like every single person I know that's had them has had major hip issues with their dogs. It's just something with the breed.
Tara said she's an AR. You said Arizona. Oh, did I? Oops. Arkansas. My bad. My bad. I'm getting my southern states and my western states mixed up. Yeah. See, there you go. Honda's DM. Dumb motherfucker. The now calling pedos maps minor attracted persons. Man, some of these sentences are so hard to read. They are now recalling pedos maps or renaming them, right? That's what you're saying? Yeah, we already talked about this shit. Again, I think that person needs to be investigated heavily by the authorities, whoever it is who wrote that book. They need to go into their computer. They need to pull off every picture that they have of anyone doing anything minorly sexual at all and see if any of them are children, and if they are, put them in jail. Like, that'd be the easiest way to do it, right? Get a foxhound? What's a foxhound look like? Oh, one of these guys from The Fox and the Hound. Right? Wasn't that the Fox and the Hound dog? They are cute. I love those ears. Like, look at this guy. Oh. I wouldn't mind getting a dog, but I don't want to have the responsibility of having a dog. Savage, you have lots of land. I really like, what is it called? A border collie. Border collies are really cool. Or an Aussie, an Australian Shepherd. Or, here's a thought, border collie, Australian Shepherd mix. Does not work in an apartment. But if you have land and you can take them out and give them something to do, a job, you know, something like that, those dogs are fucking awesome. They're so smart. Like, they're so cool. All they want to do is make you happy. Like, all they want to do is make you happy. They're fucking so nice, dude. I am working and listening, thus typos and repeating stuff already covered. You're good. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying it. Sometimes it's hard to read. Someone needs to find a fucking lawyer for Tara and hook her up so she can sue the fuck out of this company, citing the death of her friend as like reason for her wanting to take time off to heal up and them not letting, you know what I mean? I feel like you got a case there, especially if they fired you for saying like, hey, I need some time to heal, and they're like, yo, clean out your truck. Like, that's not a fireable offense.
No, it's not.
In fact, there are specifically protections in the law that prevent companies from doing things like that. And if your company didn't follow that, fine, take your discharge papers. Make sure you get it in writing, too. That's the other thing. Like, clean out my truck. Okay, I cleaned out my I'm cleaning out my truck. I need my fucking letter. I'm not cleaning out my truck until you give me a fucking letter.
Yeah. So until there's something official stating why I'm being fired, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep doing my job until you give me something official.
I don't know what to do about that. That sucks. Because they're hitting you where it hurts too, right? And like your job. That's why I'm so against these fucking mandates, because they're trying to hit everybody where it hurts. Do what we say or be homeless, is what they're saying. Keep working even though you're injured or be homeless. That's what your company wants to say. But they don't have the right to say that. Especially if the thing that's making you hurt so bad is a direct result of your work. Especially if the original injury is from your work, you know? Belgian Turin, goddamn words. How do you say that? Tervurn. Turvern. Teuren. Oh, these guys are cool. That's basically like a German Shepherd, but different, is what it looks like to me. Like that's like the German Shepherd's cousin.
Are you trying to show us stuff?
Oh no. Yes. Maybe. Sorry, I just realized I wasn't doing that when you said that. Damn, they get up to 75 pounds as males. That's a big fucking dog. How big do German Shepherds get?
Depends. I mean, I've had German Shepherds that have been. The last one I had was only about a little under, around 40 pounds, maybe a little less. She was kind of small. And then I had one that was pushing 75 pounds.
Damn, no, they get up to, males get from 66 to 88 pounds, females from 49 to 71.
Yeah, the last one I had was pretty small. She was 40 something pounds. I don't remember how much.
Melanews, whatever the fuck you say it, I can't tell you how to say it. Only get up to 55 pounds, 66 pounds, I guess, tops. So they're a little bit smaller. That's one thing to consider, though, when you get a dog. Like, the bigger the dog, generally speaking, the less long they live. So if you get, like, a big-ass fucking dog, they only live, like, 7, 8, 9 years. Versus you get, like, a smaller dog, like a regular-sized dog, they live, like, 10, 11, 12. If you get, like, a tiny dog, they live, like, 15 years, you know? Daniel says, read my last chat. I thought you had a dog recently, or did you get rid of it, of the bitch, and the dog went with her? It's that one. It was her dog. I really like that dog. She had a nice dog. But yeah, she's gone, and so is the dog. I miss the dog. I was a hero last year on the front lines with no vax, multiple cases where I was exposed and assisted people who were positive. Now that I don't want this shot, just yet I deserve to be jobless. Now, yeah, I mean, that's basically what they're saying, dude. Now everything you did in the past is forgotten, and anything that you're against what they're trying to do now makes you a fucking target of hate and vitriol and fucking, yeah.
Not only do you not deserve a job, you're a horrible human being. You're just a horrible, evil human being who should be ridiculed all the time.
Well, they're trying to make a legal case for if you are unvaccinated, that makes you a danger to other people. If you are a danger to other people, then you should not be allowed to go into places like grocery stores and restaurants and stuff like that. You should have no contact with the rest of society because you have chosen by your actions or your lack of actions by not getting the jab to be a danger to society by your mere presence. Therefore, you should starve in the woods, homeless and alone, and until you get the jab. Like, not come into contact with people because you're a danger. Like, you're tantamount to, like, a murderer, you know? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you fight it, though, working in the medical field, especially in, like, an old folks' home like that. Like, what do you do? You could get one of those prosthetic arms that you can stick a needle into, and then just have them go in and get your jab in your prosthetic arm, and then they'll give you your paperwork and you're vaccinated. The only problem is you got to do that every time you need your booster. So don't throw the arm away. I mean, I am kind of a bad person unless you are a puppy kitty. Well, at least you're not bad to the puppies and kitties. Because for the most part, they don't deserve it. Although there are some cats that are assholes. I'm not saying you should be an asshole to them. You should just, let them survive on their own if they can. Because cats can. They took over fucking Australia. You guys know that? They fucking, there's so many cats in Australia, they have to go hunt them. Because they eat up too much of the natural ecology. There's, animals that are endangered species because cats just, roam through the fucking desert eating them. Apparently everyone knew that. All right. Yo, man, I'm getting tired. It's been almost 3 hours. I worked 8 hours this morning and 9 hours last night on 5 hours of sleep in between. And then had a little bit of time before this chat, and then we're here. So I'm not feeling great right now, to be honest. I got to tell you. Oh, another super chat.
Keep him coming, that way he has to stay.
Here, yep.
Just wait till the camels rise up down under. That's true. There are camels in Australia that they brought in. They're not natural to Australia as well, that are thriving there. But I don't think that they necessarily make other animals endangered as a result of it. They just, happen to be good at living there. You know what I mean? Do you know there were horses indigenous to North America before the end of the Ice Age? Man, you guys are talkative tonight.
I'm sorry. We are. Just a good bunch of talkative people, aren't we?
Oh. Talkative.
Daniel says I'm a whiner. I don't know. I feel like I got... You remember that scene from Alien where the face sucker attaches to the dude and they get him back to the medical center and they don't know how to get it off and they're freaking out. And then all of a sudden it just falls off on its own. And they're like, oh, he must be better. And then they're sitting down to eat dinner and everyone's sitting around and he starts feeling something going on.
Yep. Everything was fine.
Yeah. I kind of feel like I've got an alien inside of me right now. And it's trying to get out. Camels are the desert version of a moose. Absolutely going to have massive effects on the... Okay, yeah, that's true. But that would be more on the plants and shit, right? Because a moose just comes by and eats everything. So a camel's going to come by and eat everything, and then it's going to make other things starve, I guess? I don't know. What does camel taste like?
I don't know. I'm sure people have eaten camels. I mean, I've got 100% certain camel is eaten somewhere on the
face. Is it halal to eat camel?
I don't know. I forget what halal actually even means. What is it like? Is it some similar to kosher?
I thought so, but let's look it up.
I don't remember. Because kosher is all about the way something's prepared, right? And things like no pork.
Arabic
I believe so.
So halal is an Arabic word that simply means lawful or permitted, but generally refers to what's allowed under Islamic law.
Okay, so halal doesn't just mean food. It means anything, I guess, whatever's permitted, including food.
So it's like kosher, because kosher food is what's permitted under the Jewish religion to eat that's considered by God to be that which does not taint them. And I'm assuming halal is some sort of similar fucking premise. One of my most sadistic pleasures at work is not telling Arabic people that their thing has bacon on it when it's obvious that it does when they order it. Like, for instance, the triple bacon burger. And then it comes out and it's got bacon all over it. Like, fuck you. Eat that shit, motherfucker. Tastes good. And then you wait till they take a couple of bites and you're like, do you like the pork burger? Again, it's not anything I'm directly doing. It's just I'm not preventing them. I'm letting them, never stop your enemy while he's making a mistake. Daniel says, prod would be the first thing that was intrigue. What the fuck? Prod would be the first thing that was inside you? What is prod? God damn it, dude. What the fuck is going on? What is life?
What is life?
No, what is this chat, dude? What is this?
What is prod? All hail
Prod
before
wouldn't
prod.
be the first.
I don't know.
thing
Read the
that
fucking
was-
chat and you tell me what prod is.
I don't know.
Maybe it probably wouldn't be the first thing that was inside.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That
Probably.
makes sense. Thank you. Jesus fucking Christ.
I feel like these are lion's head bottle caps or something. Like they're fucking trying to put like words together and shit.
Savage says, I've only ever had camel toe, so.
Yeah.
And yes, it tastes good.
It does. It's delicious. It's my favorite meal.
All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hit that button now before anyone stops me. And I hope you guys have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow night for the Gay Frog Chat. I will be more rested and with an actual agenda. God damn it.
What's DMF? Dumb motherfucker. Did he call you a dumb motherfucker?
No, it's dimethylfuramide. DMF. Look, I looked it up. Dimethyl. Fuck you, I'm out.